Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies, and today I will resume doing my Hong Kong movie review series where I review movies that came out of Hong Kong, and I try my best to find as many great movies as possible. Today I have arrived at Fallen Angels, or "堕落天使", written and directed by the one and only Wong Kar-Wai, Wong Kar-Wai, and this movie is released in 1995. Fun fact, I don't think I've ever watched 3 movies from the same director in such a short period of time because, and I know that sounds kind of dumb because I think it's been almost an entire year since I've reviewed Chungking Express and In the Mood for Love, but it felt like it has been 3 months only. And yeah, when I first started watching Wong Kar-Wai movies, I started with In the Mood for Love, released in 2000. And yeah, I kind of didn't understand it at all. I mean, at the end, I kind of appreciated the movie, but I still didn't quite grasp what this movie is actually going for until I watched Chungking Express, released in 1994. And Chungking Express, or Chongqing Sunlam, is way different from In the Mood for Love in that it is way dreamier and way more expressive, way more cinematic. And from that movie, I kind of started to understand what Wong Kar-Wai is actually going for, in that he's not actually trying to tell a story, whereas he's actually trying to express a vibe, a mood, an atmosphere. And it's just very accentuated in Fallen Angels, which is released only 1 year after Chungking Express. And this movie is also similar to Chungking Express in that it tells 2 separate love stories that are also kind of happening concurrently. And these 2 movies are also very hypnotizing, mesmerizing, and dreamy, and it has that Wong Kar-Wai style and flavor that's just really, really special. And however, I must say that Fallen Angels is like the dark version of Chungking Express, whereas Chungking Express is more lovely, more endearing, more sweet and dreamy, but Fallen Angels is more like a fever dream, like a nightmare, like a something gloomy, something grim, moody, and it's way grittier. And in a sense, I think if you want to start watching Wong Kar-Wai movies, if you start with In the Mood for Love, you're gonna be like, what? But if you start here, you're actually going to kind of understand what Wong Kar-Wai is actually going for in his movies. And so Fallen Angels is actually a fantastic starting point in Wong Kar-Wai's filmography, in my opinion. Also, when I watched the first scene of the movie, and there's the MTR station, I was like, wait, is that the Saiwan-ho MTR station? Oh my god, I know that station, oh my god! Anyways, I digress. This movie is amazing, and now that I kinda understand what Wong Kar-Wai is going for in his movies, holy crap, I actually enjoyed Fallen Angels way more than I have expected. This movie is depressing, but also sexy, but also dreamy, but also dizzying and disorienting. It is absolutely beautiful. Christopher Doyle, same DP of In the Mood for Love and Chungking Express, also works in this movie, and we got these really crazy wide angles that just makes everything so much more dreamy and disorienting and also intimate in a sense. I mean, the characters, when they're standing in front of the camera, they're really like dominating the camera. And then we got these colors, which are also very beautiful. I think, in a sense, movies like this almost inspired Gaspar Noé's movies, in a sense that Gaspar Noé's movies also uses these very sharp, wonky, warm colors. And this movie also kind of does that similarly, and it's absolutely beautiful. These colors are very warm, but in a way they are depressing. And speaking of warm, I don't mean yellow, red, and orange. There are also a lot of greens in this movie, but they're so warm. They're in a shade of lime almost, and they're all arranged in a way it's like sleepy and kind of sad and lonely. Now we have the plot itself, which is very Wong Kar-Wai-esque. I mean, what else can I say? Again, two separate love stories, and the first love story is actually supposedly in Chungking Express, but it didn't make the final cut. But essentially, the first story is a hitman, a man played by Leon Lai Meng, and he and this other woman, this agent who gave him the jobs, played by Michelle Reyes, together they fell in love. But because their love is based upon murder, crime, they must be separated. And Michelle Reyes' character, the agent, doesn't want that, but Leon Lai's character, he has to quit, he has to leave, and he eventually runs into another girl who is played by Rachel Mach, this blonde girl with a crazy wig, which is totally unexpected. Last time I talked about the god of cookery, and Rachel Mach, or Mok Man White, is also in that movie, and she plays this really ugly woman. And in this movie, and she's supposed to be a very huge star, but I totally didn't expect her to wear this crazy ass wig and play this ecstatic character, almost like Faye Wong's character in Chungking Express because of how energetic and childish she is. There's a fly. Okay. Oh. And then we have the second storyline where it's essentially this mute man, this mute boy who goes into stores that are closed pretending to be someone who works there and gets paid, and he does so in a way it almost like he's robbing people, but in a really cartoonish and funny way. And he runs into this woman who is also very childish, but almost in a totally different way, because she's incredibly talkative, loud, aggressive, unpredictable, almost to a point of being delusional. And this other woman, this loud talking woman who's constantly rambling about this blonde girl, but later in the movie we kind of realize that this blonde girl doesn't really exist, and she's only using her as an excuse for her heartbreak. And yeah, it is a very strange and surreal set of characters that are all really well written and fleshed out in a way that I really didn't expect. Which goes on to my next point for why I really love this movie, and that is the characters. And usually when I say I really love a character, usually it's either they really stand out as a flat character, or they has these layers that are developed with the story, and that they're really well written round characters. But the characters in this movie fall into neither of these two categories. They are still kind of ambiguous even at the end of the movie, but by watching this movie it's almost like we're watching a cross section of their life. We don't need to know their backstory. We don't need to know where they're going to go in the future. I mean, we have narration, which is really nice, but even without narration, judging by how the characters act and how the characters react to certain situations, just really build their characters. And it's so quirky, it's so strange, it really stands out. The mute boy in this movie is actually also played by Kaneshiro Takeshi, who also played one of the characters in Chungking Express, and his character in this movie is also amazing. In Chungking Express, he's more of a lonely, clueless man, but in this movie, he is playful as hell. He robs into the store, he massages a pig, he steals everyone's ice cream and feeds an entire family. There's so many funny interactions involving this character. Like, there's this other guy who's like, okay, oh my god, it's you again, don't pull my hair. But then at the same time, it's what he's doing is mean. It's rude. You don't do that. And there are moments where it's like, man, he really shouldn't have done that. but then at the same time you kind of root for him because of the heartbreak, and also the relationship between him and his dad, and then him and his employee in that Japanese restaurant. And then another amazing character is actually Michelle Ray's character, especially in the opening scene of the movie where she's smoking. She has thick red lipsticks, but her hands are shaking, and she's asking, are we still partners? And that just leaves a very strong impression. And then there are so many scenes throughout the movie where she smokes, but she does so in a way that's so sexual, but so lonely and so depressing at the same time. Like down to the last scene, which I will talk about a little later, but oh my goodness. There are two kinds of people in the world. The kind of people who would like Faye Wong in Chungking Express more than Michelle Reyes in Fallen Angels, and the kind of people who like Michelle Reyes in Fallen Angels more than Faye Wong in Chungking Express, because Michelle Reyes in Fallen Angels is easily like one of the most tortured characters I've seen in Wong Kar-Wai movies so far. She's like doomer girl basically, but at the same time you kind of see her aggressive side, but you also see his human side without ruining the kind of facade that she sort of puts up in front of the audience and in front of people, where she tries to act really cool and who gives a shit kind of attitude, where she drinks a can of beer and throws the can away on the ground, just whatever. But then at the same time, we see her cry over the heartbreak, and just leaning against the song machine at the bar. All these small little actions just really build her character, and I just really like that. And of course, we have the ending of the movie, which I really love. There's just something so friggin' romantic about eating lunch or dinner alone in a restaurant in the middle of the night while a fight breaks out behind you, and the loser of the fight is going to be your lover. There's just something so romantic about that, and likewise, there's something so friggin' romantic about having a fight in the middle of a restaurant in the middle of the night, and then this girl who just sits there and eats her noodles alone while smoking, pretending like nothing is happening, is going to be your lover. It's just so friggin' romantic for some reason. And yeah, I think one letterbox review of this movie really captures the vibe of this movie, and that is no other movie captures the vibe that is driving to McDonald's at 3 a.m. And this is exactly what this movie feels like, and I love it. Also, the musical choice in this movie, amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah, Fallen Angels. It's depressing, it's sexy, it's lonesome, it's sad, it's grim, and I love it. I'm giving Fallen Angels, or堕落天使, a strong, strong, strong 9 out of 10. But, movies like this, their score kind of varies, so it may be a 10. It may as well be a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9 for safety measures first. And in fact, this is my favorite Wong Kar-Wai movie I've seen. But maybe I'll change my opinion when I rewatch Chungking Express and In the Mood for Love, which I definitely will.